I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of
Beyond
sight
ATC
as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Glide Slope channel, and today is a very special day. It's been so long since I wanted to fly this plane, to be honest. I've been following Synaptic, the company that built it, for the last year at least, maybe before that. So I know this plane has been in production for such a long time. But here it is, finally, the Airbus A220 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and 2020. Today we'll be taking it out of Rome, where we last landed, to Budapest in Hungary. Now, the thing about this plane is it's not just good looking. There's a lot of great ideas. We'll be talking about a bit of its history, of course, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it. This will be kind of a discovery flight for me as well, because this is my first contact with it. And I've been reading the manual. I've not have early access to it, but I have been reading the manual was supplied before release, and I was looking very carefully at the systems. This is only an Airbus by name. This is not really an Airbus as you may know it. This is very different. As you know, this was developed by Canadair, so the Bombardier people, also known as Canadair in Canada. But Airbus purchased it and gave it the name A220, but it is actually the precursor of the CRJ, the successor of the CRJ. But today we'll be taking the flight and be learning the systems, understanding the aircraft. Hopefully this will be an uneventful flight, except for the fact that I'll be discovering it quite a bit. So without further ado, let's look around the plane first, because it is a beauty. And there we are. Look at this. The livery helps a lot. ITA Airways livery, it's brilliant. This ocean blue. This is, of course, a composite window that I mean, the A350 made it famous, but the A220 was the one that actually started it. And look at that, it looks brilliant, it looks beautiful. There's a few shortcomings with it. We'll get on with it in a moment. This is a beautiful model. I believe Inibuilds has a big part of the work in making it happen. I mean, look at this. You can open the engine cowlings and look inside. You can actually check the fluid. I believe you can check the oil levels. I've not done this before, so I'm pretty much just covering it right now. It doesn't look like there's a gate here anywhere, but anyway, looks really brilliant. You can also interact with a lot of stuff. Let me see. I believe that you can open the APU. Yes, APU doors, just like on the A350. And yes, that's an engine. It's inside there. And look at that, the tail section, and the APU exhaust is straight forward aft. There's also the exhaust from the all the avionics systems, and that's, I believe, the outflow valve, if I'm not mistaken. You can also open the door. We'll leave that to the ground crew, of course. We don't want to mess with that for now. GSX has not been updated to include this plane, but we have downloaded the profile from the Inibuilds website. Hopefully it works, because, you know, brand new planes. Fueling panel, again, I've not worked with it, so I'm not sure. It doesn't look like anything's working right now. It's just probably a placeholder. Not important, not at least for us. Again, the cargo door, this is the forward cargo door, the same drills, also app opens. And yes, this plane does have covers, but they apparently are removed. So are the chocks, not a way to be on the gate. But look at that, detail has never been a problem for Inibuilds. They've always worked their way to please us in terms of detail and all these little cables and all that. Same with the main landing gear in the back. I'm not sure if these planes are equipped with brake fans. I'm expecting they probably are an option, but these don't appear to have it. I need to check. It's not important, but it is always good to know what you can count on. Now let's tell GSX just to connect the jetway. And nothing happens. Typical GSX, the jetway is not working. It's all right. We can go in and continue our tour. Welcome to the flight deck. There's Betsy. Sorry, I almost changed your name today. Let me check my chat here. Yo, you are welcome. Mirsha, my good friend, welcome as well. Nice to see you both. Thank you for coming. Brand new plane. So it says here the jetways are working, but they're not. Let me do that again. Nope. So operate jetway. Ah, there it goes. Apparently we can only do this from the cockpit, so I apologize for that. But at least the jetway is now working its way into our plane. And there is an embedded cargo loader there. This gate needs a rework in Rome. Alright, we are in Rome, by the way, Rome Fiumicino Airport. And so let's start. First of all, let's have a little tour. I will turn on the lights so we can see better. But look at this. Look at the view from the outside, from the inside, I'm sorry. Amazing little cockpit. It really is brilliant. I really like the windows. They're very wide, very open. There's only 3 pillars if you take a good look. The windows are not massive, but they're wide enough. This is the compositive window advantage. So the windows can be one big pane, and this is exactly what the 350 looks like also. But there's a shortcoming, just like the 350, there's no window exit. So the only way for the pilots to escape is through a little hatch. We'll look at it once we get power to the plane. That's the only downside, but other than that, the plane looks beautiful from the inside and from the outside. Before I turn on the systems and start talking about it, let me just explain to you that this is a mix. This is a mix from old Bombardier aircraft like the CRJ, a mix of Boeing, and a mix of Airbus. there's all of that inside this plane right now. The reason being, first of all, the Bombardier the original developers, some of these systems were developed alongside the development of the Boeing 787, so there's a lot of similarities. I'm not saying they copied or they borrowed anything. I'm just saying that the logics are very similar. And of course, you have the side stick just like an Airbus, but beyond that, there's also a few similarities with Airbus. However, you cannot come into this plane believing you're flying an Airbus. It's only Airbus by name, like I said. And honestly, you will see why. I don't really need to explain much. All right, let's go. So first of all, let's connect the ground power here. There it is. So we got a green light up there, but we're not going to turn on the green light. We are going to turn on the batteries first. Confirm that there it is. I thought I had an issue here. No sound. I had turned down the sound for the initial portion with the music. So now I need to recover the sounds. Right. That's it. Alright. You will notice that a lot of things in this aircraft are automated, which is awesome, but it's also a bit of a scary moment because you are expecting some things to be worked by hand or manually, and it's not. But that's not really to be bothered right now, so let's turn on the cockpit lights here. Oh, of course. Now we got ground power. Now we got the lights. Hello, Betsy. Alright, so that hatch I was talking about, you can see it right here. So the dome light doesn't appear to illuminate the cockpit that well, but anyway, you can barely see it. This is this escape hatch right here. So if you need to escape the cockpit and there's the cabin is not reliable, it's just like the A350 also has a little hatch behind the co-pilot. This one has one in the very center. And I've seen pilots cleaning the windows by climbing over there and using it like a mop to clean the windows. It's actually pretty funny, but it is useful for that single reason. Yes, you do need to clean your windows before flight, especially if they're full of bugs. And so it is advisable that you open the window and clean it, but in this plane you can't do that, of course. Oh, what's this? It's a little light. Doesn't seem to be working now. No, probably this. It's probably this switch down here. So we got mag lights. And we got foot lights. Look at that. Beautiful. Betsy, you also have side light, bag light, and foot light. It's just turning it on just for the sake of a night flight as we are doing it today. Now, first automation, you'll notice. Notice that there's no ADIRS or IRS alignment switches. That's because the system performs that for you. That's one of the first things that it really scared me when I first noticed it. Well, when I first noticed I didn't have any IRS switches. There's a plane taxiing. It's a Whizzer, probably an A320. It's actually coming in to park right next to us. So it really scares me, but you do know that it's been aligned because you have a warning on your PFD saying the attitude, heading, and lining do not taxi. So we will not taxi, don't worry. Our engines are off anyway. This is not supposed to be a tutorial, but I will explain a few things that I've stumbled upon, and I'm sure that you guys will probably also stumble upon, or at least you could stumble upon it. First of all, there's no ACARS, at least not in this phase, so we will not have ACARS. We will also not apparently don't have PDC, pre-departure clearance, or CPDLC using beyond ATC at least. I was told, or I read somewhere, that they are planning to implement that in later updates, but not right now. So here's hoping they don't forget that people use me on ATC. That sometimes happens. But before we do anything, let's load our flight plan here. So I've created a flight plan coming out of Fiumicino to Listferenc in Budapest, and this is our meter for departure, meter for arrival, and routing. Pretty standard. We've seen this on the A350, on the A340-300. It's the way Inibuilds does things. They actually designed this electronic flight bag. And one of the things that I've noticed here is that you have the charts here. That's fine. That's all fine. Oh, the token expired. That's odd. I've already... Give me a second here. So, not sure what happened. Log out and log in. So, first glitch. I've already done this. Oops, what was that? Alright, log in. Open the browser. You're not going to be able to see that. Alright, allowed. So I allowed there. Ah, there it is. I've already done this before, so I'm not sure. The token just gets expired for some reason. But it is now loaded here, so... You do have the charts here, and you can see the charts here, but you will probably not want to use the charts on the EFB. Why? This plane has a very smart chart display, so it will display the relevant charts to your route. So right now no route is loaded, so we'll start by that. So you can go through the positioning. There's nothing here to show because the system's all still lining up. Coming back here, confirm we got our flight loaded. And we can now actually see the flight plan. It's good, but now we need to import it. And here we go. We got our Simbrief ID. I wish they didn't have this as is. And look at that. It says flight plan uplink complete, but we are in active flight plan, and there's nothing here. Why? Because it loads the flight plan into the secondary. There it is. Why does it do that? I'm not entirely sure, but we can activate it now. And now, if we go to the flight plan, so the active flight plan, it's loaded. And we need to execute. Don't forget that. This is a very Boeing thing. If you guys know you're Boeing, you know that we need to execute every single change. See, now we're in active flight plan, no longer in secondary. Yeah, I mean, okay. It's a way to do things, I suppose. And the rest of the things are pretty standard. We got to do our departures, our arrivals. We'll go through that. We got our flight plan wind request, so it's going to request your to each flight to each waypoint, I believe. It says complete, but it didn't complete with the climb because we still need to insert this data. Our fuel prediction will populate this in a moment, and our equal time point will set this in a moment as well. So first things first, let's go with the power on checklist, and we can load the checklist right here. It's actually part of the checklist, which is crazy. So how does these screens work? Except for PFD, so the screen one, and in your second half of your ND page or your secondary monitor, you can change every single page here, including these pages right here. So we can set our map here instead of the FMS. We can set our map here. We can set our map here, so it doubles. So if you have two maps on the same monitor, it will just full screen it. The only screen you cannot change is this one and this one. So everything else, and of course the Copilot's PFD, you can also not change that. Anything else you can change, and you can have your FMS up here. Don't know why you would want that, but you can. You also have your radio or CD and CNS, the checklist, which was where we were, the Synaptic, so hydraulics, avionics, all that. Every single page here is customizable to your desire. So I'll just revert this back to checklist over here on Betsy's side, and I'm going to set this to Synaptics. Sorry, Synaptics, there we go, because that's the default thing. Now, like I said, having the checklist on the display unit 2, this is what you call it, display unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's part of the checklist. You can see here that you should have the electronic checklist on DU2, that's display unit 2, alright, it's done. Now, a lot of the things, like I said, are automated, and the electronic checklists are also automated. So you see here that most of the items, it's already cleared, it already has a check mark. The only things that do not have the check mark are the ones that require action. So you can see here hydraulic 3A, 3B, and 2B need to be on auto. We can go up here to our overhead and we set 1, 2, well, 3A, 3B, and 2B. Hydraulic 1 and 2 are system controlled, and you can see now they have been automatically checked, which is good. The only thing we do not have is APU external power because it's ambiguous and the system does not need to detect if you have either. We do have external power, so we're going to check it and we complete it. And the system will automatically send you to the next pre-flight checklist, and it will ask you if it's the first flight of the day. We are going to say yes. We might not be at this time of the day, but anyway. And before we do that, we're going to check here. This is our warning. So this is more or less like your ECAM page. So it tells you that you got emergency lights off, the door slides are disarmed or open. So we could go to the door synoptics and we can see that which doors are disarmed and which ones open. We got external power and use parking brake on, and nose wheel steering is off. Twist this button right here, we'll turn it on once we start rolling. Anything else is engine information, total fuel, the whole shebang, and yeah. So let's tell GSX to load the plane. Boarding has been requested. Let's see. So we had this flicker. Sometimes the external power gets disconnected when using GSX, so be careful with that. So let's just wait. Let's go outside and have a look. Here comes our cargo loaders. Do not attach pushback. Whoops, like this. And yeah, the cargo loaders, everything about GSX needs. You can now tune the way they circulate around the plane. You can create little routes for them, but yeah. Anyway, continue on with the checklist. Actually, before that, well, let's do that. So, ice detector test. Let's skip the tests. We can go to the circuit breakers here. Confirm there's no breaker. Rudder trim is set to neutral. Oxygen masks. I don't think this is simulated. Yes, it is actually. Betsy, you can press yours. Don't wait for me. Airplane documents, air operations engineer bulletins, emergency equipment, ear pins, we checked outside. Overhead panel has been checked. Glare shield, so we take a look at our glare shield here, make sure that there's nothing. We can set up the radios, we can set up the MCP, just not yet. Or the FCU, I don't know what they call it here. The displays have been checked, ACUS and info, so they do call this an ACUS, not an ECAM. So let's check the altimeters. We're going to consult here our D80s for Rome, and our QNH right now is 1017, so let's set that 1017 and cross-check. It's performed. There's no standby. Oh yes, there is. So 1017. There it is. Done. Altimeter set. Center panel is checked. Pedestal checked, and side sticks, let's see if they're free of movement free. That one is steady because this is a fly-by-wire aircraft, remember. Complete. Alright, now let's go on with our planning. So let's first of all go to our flight plan. We got origin, destination, it looks good. We're going to set up the fuel as well. And we got a route here, so we are going to Locuno and Trip Cell. So we needed to compare that with our actual flight plan. So we're just going to open it and confirm that this is the actual routing. We got it planned. There it is, Locuno, Atrup, Sal, Capri, Hilzak, Capri, Uzak. And one thing I've noticed while inserting flight plans, and you have to be careful with that, is that it often inserts discontinuities. I mean, like crazy. If I now add like a departure, it will add a discontinuity, and the same will happen throughout the flight plan. Not sure if that's accurate, but it is what happens, and you have to be careful, because if you don't pay attention to that, you will have a discontinuity and it will mess your flight. But for now, let's just contact Beyond ATC and let's request clearance to Budapest.
Fuel delivery K6221 Sierra Airbus A220-300 with information Romeo Gate 306, request IFR clearance to Faraday Airport.
K6221 Sierra, fuel delivery. Thanks for information Romeo, cleared to Faraday Airport via the Eclose 8 Romeo departure, runway 25, climb via SIT to flight level 080, squawk 1000.
Cleared to Faraday Airport via the Eclose 8 Romeo departure, runway 25, climb via SIT to flight level 080, squawk 1000, K6221 Sierra.
K6221 Sierra, read that correct. Contact ground 121.675 when ready for push or start.
Will contact ground 121.675 when ready for pushback or engine start. K6221 Sierra. Bye-bye, thanks.
My pleasure. Enjoy your flight.
Oh, so nice. Oh, not again.
Skylight 615,
Why is this
contact fuel
keeps
at tower
happening?
118.7.
Over to tower
I've already done
118.7,
this.
Skylight 615.
Alright. So we're gonna select, see that? So it automatically selected the chart that I've selected down here. This is a pretty clever system. I'm just gonna check here which
Ryanair
transition.
75 Echo Uniform, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha,
So we're
runway
going to
25 via
Eclose.
Charlie Foxtrot Delta, Delta Mike Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Charlie Foxtrot, Delta, Delta Mike Bravo, Bravo Alpha, Ryanair 75 Echo Uniform.
Air Italia 157 Quebec, contact fuel at tower 118.7, good day.
Over to tower 118.7, Aero Italia 157 Quebec.
ITA 1431 at gate 402, request pushback. ITA 1431, fuel ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast. Pushback approved, face northeast at
I'm
Aero
sure which
1431.
transition to pick. So this one goes north.
Ryanair
So
1 Foxtrot,
definitely not
Foxtrot,
this
November
one.
909, request pushback and engine start.
Ryanair 1 Foxtrot, fuel ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face west.
Pushback and engine start approved, face west, Ryanair 1
Oh, this
Foxtrot,
could be
Foxtrot.
It's one of these probably. So cool, sip or tip. Sip. Oh, this could be one of them. Sipro, no. So definitely not sip. Hoku. This one goes north. But we are going to fly. So the problem here is just to select. So runway 25, yeah, it's going straight up.
ITA 1431
Yeah,
ready to taxi to the active.
No transition.
ITA 1431, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Zulu, Golf Papa, Delta, Delta Mike, Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
So this is
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Zulu, Golf Papa, Delta, Delta Mike, Bravo, Bravo Alpha, ITA 1431.
It's not implemented apparently.
Aero Italia 2617 ramp.
So I just used hardware to lower the sound. Yeah, it's so we are going to make this departure via close and turn right. There should be a transition there. We can look at it. Probably. It's probably better just to look at it. Yeah, this one looks good. Alright, done. That's probably the one we want. Alright, let's execute it. Done. Alright, and now we are going to get our load sheet. Out of Simbrief, there it is. Loaded. So we got current weight 54.5. So we're now going to go for performance. Good question. So weights, we're going to set our weight to 53.6. So zero fuel weight, is that it? 49.1. So the way you insert data is pretty cool. 49.1. So you see here I'm writing here on the scratch pad, and now I select it right here. Do we need to insert all the numbers? Alright, 49,120. So it's probably not supposed to be like that. So we're 49,120. Now we are inserted. CG, it's going to be 25. Well, it's zero fuel CG, right? So 24.4. It's Mac, yes. So 24.4. Done. As for the block fuel, we'll be taking 53.6. 53.6. Or maybe it's the whole digits again. My bad. So 53, 59. And down. Number of passengers, we got 112. And that's it. So now we're going to back to initialize, confirm the cruise altitude, which I didn't previously. So our sign altitude is 380, that's the first step. Yeah, I guess we have everything we need. Now let's calculate the performance for takeoff. So sync FMS, sync weather. Yeah, the weather doesn't sync. We can extrapolate from our, not here, but from our DATs. There we go. So we got wind is 290 and 4, and our outside temperature is 28, and altimeter is 1017, correct? Yes, 1017. Done. Now we can calculate, so we're going to take off with banks on, NTI soft, thrust config to auto, flap setting to, calculate. And there we got it. So we're going to take off with takeoff thrust, derated takeoff thrust to 2. V1 is 126, VR is 131, V2 is 136, flaps 2, send to FMS, and everything is populated. We're just going to arm APR. Done. There's a little bump here, I'm not sure. And execute. Everything is about executing. Remember that. So we got an invalid speed here. We're going to address that in a moment. So we have an invalid speed here, but we can take care of that in a moment. We're going to set to V speeds 126, 131, 136. There they are. And now we're going to set to V speed here. Actually, the annunciator is off. I just forgot to do this. And so I need to turn on the lamp lights are on, but need to turn on seatbelt signs. And no personal electronic devices. Switch to on. Alright. So now let's switch this to airport. And yes, there we are. So we are good to go. Let's go back to map. Let's turn on terrain, TFC. Weather is not available yet, so they've not implemented the weather radar for now. So yeah, very old school button here. If you guys know your CRJs and your old school aircraft, you know. Also the business jets do this quite a lot. You do not have a single navigation source. You all have FMS1, FMS2, VOR, ILS, and all that. And you do have to switch between these modes. So if you press this button here, you go to VR1, FMS2, VR2, and back to FMS1. This is very old school, I know, but it is what it is. The same old school stuff you'll see when we come to the autopilot modes. Let's just get back here to remember myself of the QNH will be 1000 as it usually is flying over Europe, some European countries, and I'm going to set this to auto, allow the plane to manage the transponder. So let's close BRTC here. Let's confirm we got everything on. We got emergency lights on, passenger signs, we got nav mode. We are going to be ready for takeoff. We're going to turn on the strobes. And I think that's about it. This is a very sparse overhead panel. There's not much to work with. Everything is automated, like I said. We do have the APU stuff. We need to turn on the APU, so let's do that. Start APU. The switch will come back to run on itself. There it is. Let's get our Synaptic page here. Actually, we can get our Synaptics here and wait for the APU to come available. The APU does have this big intake here. See it right there, the intake door. And according to the developers, this intake door actually does act as a drag element, so it will create drag when open. That's just something you need to pay attention to. Let's bring up the before start checklists. APU is available. So let's go back to map. And we can turn on the beacon and tell BITC we want to depart.
Golf November, Bravo, Bravo, Alpha, ITA 1363.
K6221 Sierra at gate 306, request pushback.
K6221 Sierra, CMAG ground, pushback and engine start approved.
Doors are being closed.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northeast, K6221 Sierra.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. ITA 1719 at gate 307, request pushback and engine start.
ITA 1719, CMAG ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position, ITA 1719.
So the GSX menu keeps increasing in size. I apologize. It's a knock bug.
Aero 1267, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Echo Charlie, Echo Hotel, Echo Charlie, Echo Golf Delta, Delta Mike, Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Echo Charlie, Echo Hotel, Echo Charlie, Echo Golf Delta, Delta Mike, Bravo, Bravo Alpha, at Aero 1267.
Here comes a push.
Aero Italia 2519, ramp 222,
So we
request
need
pushback
to-
and engine started.
We need to.
Aero Italia 2519, field made ground, hold position for traffic.
So
I'll
we need
call
to
you back.
hold.
Hold position, Aero Italia 2519.
No, this is not me. This is me. Face northeast. Alright, GSX.
Aero Italia 2519, field made ground,
Waiting for
pushback
you.
approved. Face north. Pushback and engine start approved. Face north, Aero Italia 2519.
At Aero 1321, gate 304,
North.
request pushback and engine
Oh,
start.
I don't know. One of
Aero
these two.
1321, field made ground, hold position for traffic.
Parking brakes
I'll
released.
call you back.
Hold position for traffic at Aero 1321.
Clear to start the engines.
Here we go. Start number 1. We have the beacon on. Yes, we can turn on the logo in the window inspection.
At Aero 16258 request pushback. At Aero 1625, field made ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast. Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast at Aero 1625. At Aero 1719, field made ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback approved, face northeast at Aero 1719.
By the way, you guys are going to love the engine sounds on this plane.
Aero Italia 2519, ready to taxi to the active. Aero Italia 2519, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Echo Hotel, Echo Charlie, Echo Golf Delta, Delta Mike,
Sure,
Bravo,
right.
Bravo Alpha. Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Echo Hotel, Echo Charlie, Echo Golf Delta, Delta Mike, Bravo, Bravo Alpha, Aero Italia 2519.
Something's not right.
Contact Pima Tower 118.7.
Over to Tower 118.7 at Aero
There it is. I
1323.
shouldn't have placed it to crank, of course.
At Aero 1603, 8612, request pushback.
It's my bad.
At Aero 1267, contact
Inexperience,
Pima Tower
guys.
118.7.
Inexperience.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brakes set.
Waiting for your confirmation.
At Aero 1603, field made ground, pushback approved. Face east.
Pushback and engine start approved, face east at Aero 1603. At Aero 1625, taxi for departure.
At Aero 1625, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point
What am I doing wrong?
25 via November.
So let's start the engines again.
At Aero 1625.
So these engines do need to monitor. These are geared engines. They need to motorize.
At Aero 1719, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha at Aero 1719.
What am I doing wrong? Let's get continuous ignition on.
At Aero 1603, ready to taxi to the active.
I know.
Aero Italia
Do I
2519,
need to
contact
turn
Pima
on
Tower
the-
118.7.
It's all in
Over to
auto.
Tower 118.7, Aero Italia 2519.
Bleed air is on.
At Aero 1603, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Charlie Foxtrot, Delta
If
Papa,
he's
Bravo,
running.
Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via Charlie
Yes, it is
Foxtrot,
the
Delta
motor.
Papa, Bravo,
See, the
Bravo
motoring,
Alpha,
it takes a
at Aero
moment.
1603.
This is my experience with this Pratt & Whitney engines with the Airbus A320neo, A321neo. They do need sometimes to motoring. So we are going to set our speed to V2. Let's start number 2 now. Something's not right. Let's turn on continuous ignition and let's start the right engine, our engine. Here it is. Let's wait for it to monitor.
Aero 1625, contact CMET Tower 118.7, good day.
So let's set flaps 2 for takeoff.
Aero 1625.
Yes, this is normal. It does take a while for these engines to start up. So before the departure briefing complete, the GPU external power parking brake set. We got brief before start checklist complete.
With Aero 1719, contact CMET Tower 118.7.
Over to Tower 118.7 at Aero 1719, bye-bye.
So,
All aircraft be advised, information Sierra now current QN
probably be cleared
1017.
to taxi via November Golf all the way down here. Here comes engine number 2, or right engine. This is called left and right. Hello Andrew, sorry I didn't see you there.
Hit Aero 1161 at gate 410, request pushback.
With
Alright.
Aero 1161, fume ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic at Aero 1161.
Alright, we gotta go to engine start, let's call it in.
Cockpit to ground. Engine's not started yet.
What?
I'll call you back later.
Alright, let's just tell GSX that we got a good engine start. It didn't have that option. Alright, so performance, what is it saying? Performance, we need to
118.7 at Aero 1603.
engine MTI's off, call flap lead source to engine. So what am I missing? Not sure. Says climb, thrust. We got takeoff 2. Departure profile is okay. Not sure. We're just gonna press FMS perform a departure config. Flaps are set, flaps 2. Trust to climb. What am I missing? Is it to climb? Transition altitude, we need to change that. Transition altitude is 060. Or 6,000. Now we can execute. Other than that, I don't see why FMS performance departure config is anything wrong with it. In any case, request taxi.
K6221 Sierra, taxi for departure.
K6221 Sierra, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo, Bravo Alpha, K6221 Sierra.
So we need to set VNAV and auto throttle. Is that it? Not sure. I mean, everything looks okay. Standard, accelerate. Set V speeds is done. Takeoff thrust, takeoff 2. Set thrust to climb. Add climb. Transition at 6 tau. Looks good. I'm not sure what am I missing here. Is it these data here? But I don't think we've been given that. We got no flex temperature. We can set it up here for the OAT. Let's set it to 28 degrees, but I don't think we need that. And runway 29084. Because these settings already include this. It's still there. Flex temperature. I don't have a flex calculation here. I don't know, maybe 60 degrees, but it's gonna derate my flight plan. Yeah, that's not it. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I'm not seeing a problem here. I'm not seeing an issue. I'm not sure why.
17 Charlie Bravo at gate 806. Request pushback and engine start.
Oh, wow. We got clearance for taxi.
17 Charlie Bravo, female ground, pushback approved. Face west. Pushback and engine start approved, face west, easy 17
So we're going
Charlie
through
Bravo.
November Golf. Right there forward, then November, then Bravo. Then Bravo Alpha. Right here. And then we are going to cross Bravo Alpha apparently. I would prefer to go through Delta 4 all the way to holding point Bravo Alpha. Oh, this is 25. I'm on that. All right, so it's just up ahead. We just need to go through here. All right, let's go. Taxi lights on. What am I doing? Taxi light to wide. Alright, let's go.
ITA 1735 at gate 412, request pushback and engine start.
Listen to that sound.
ITA 1735 to make ground, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, ITA 1735.
Hello.
Easy 17 Charlie Bravo, request taxi. Easy 17 Charlie Bravo, taxi to holding point
Parking
Bravo
brake is
Alpha,
off.
runway 25 via Whiskey Kilo, Victor Zulu, Mike Tango Bravo, Golf Bravo, Bravo Alpha.
So we got
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha,
got
runway 25 via
flaps
Whiskey
set.
Kilo, Victor Zulu, Mike Tango Bravo, Golf Bravo, Bravo Alpha, Easy 17
I really don't know
Charlie
what
Bravo.
to do here.
With Aero 1161, fuel ground, pushback and engine start
CPU
approved.
to off.
Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northeast, ITA 1161.
NTI is not required. Flaps to set.
Aero
Flight controls
161,
will
fuel
check.
ground, pushback and engine start approved.
Nose restraint on. Pedal disconnect.
Face northeast at Aero 1321.
Lufthansa for Mike Tango, taxi to stand 301 via Delta Golf, Delta November Golf, Echo Alpha, Delta Papa Hotel.
We're going through November Bravo.
Delta November Golf, Echo Alpha, Delta Papa Hotel, Lufthansa for Mike Tango. Ryanair 9261 at gate 311, request pushback. Ryanair Ryanair 9261, fuel leg ground, pushback and engine start approved.
Alright, looks
Face
like...
northeast. Pushback and engine
Oh,
start
it
approved.
probably was
Face
the nose
northeast,
steer.
Ryanair
Probably.
9261.
Well, anyway. We got it back, so... Oof. Discovering a new plane, right? Don't. I hate this ground traffic doing this. It should be alerted to other traffic, player traffic. So we need to cross to November and then Bravo to holding point. So November Golf, I said November 1, but I meant November Golf. So now it's going to be Bravo. That's Bravo right there. There it is, Bravo.
November Bravo Bravo Alpha in Arrow 1161.
This is Delta. That's Bravo.
Face north.
Pushback approved. Face north. Arabia 663.
Should launch the chronometer as well.
ITA Airways 1321. Request taxi to the active.
ITA Airways 1321, taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Golf, November Bravo Bravo Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November
What's
Golf,
weird is
November
that
Bravo
planes
Bravo
are
Alpha,
landing
ITA
from
1321.
the north, and we're taking off to the west.
Hold position for company traffic.
Hold position for traffic ITA Airways 1321.
And lots of stuttering.
1321, continue taxi.
Continue taxi ITA Airways 1321.
ITA Airways 1735, female ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast in Arrow 1735.
Let's go and watch from the outside. Amazing sound. Some people call it Chewbacca. Others call it the whale. I think it resembles a whale. It does. So we are arriving at Bravo Point,
KFX 221 Sierra, contact fuel at tower 118.7.
and we were instructed to taxi to Bravo Alpha, so that's the one right there, Bravo Alpha. So let's check the flight controls before we do anything else. Full deflection left, neutral. Full deflection right, neutral. Full pitch up, neutral. Full pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder right, neutral. Flight controls have been checked. Let's go to holding point Bravo Alpha. And let's hold there at the visual holding point for runway 25. I think the runways change while we're doing all that thing. Fucking work set. Let's carry on. Let's get this back to data. Let's get our departure. Alright, looks good. We're all good. Checklist flight controls have been checked. ECAS and info check complete. So before takeoff, checklist left and right engine running, APU lead as required. We just turn it off. FMS set, trims are set, flaps are set, anti is not required. Auto brake, let's set to RTO. Icons and info, thrust checked, runway 25 confirmed, and the cabin. I mean, I don't think we have cabin interaction for now, so let's say it's done. Alright, we're good to go, let's call it in.
KFX 221 Sierra, holding short, runway 25.
KFX 221 Sierra, fuel at tower, wind 300 degrees, 2 knots, runway 25, cleared for
Approaching 25.
So we're clear for the takeoff. No delays. There's incoming traffic.
ITA 1161, pulling short runway.
On runway 25.
Here we go. Toga.
Short of runway 25.
Pull short of runway 25, Air 1161.
Columbia 98 Yankee Tango, exit left at Alpha Golf.
Exit left Alpha Golf.
Airspeed alive.
98 Yankee Tango.
ITA 1161, runway 25, line up and wait.
Trust set.
Runway 25, line up and wait. Air 1161. Juliet Tower, Airway Italia 2616, ALS 1
100.
Aero Italia 2616, Juliet Tower, continue.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate gear up.
Columbia 98 Yankee Tango, monitor ground 122.125.
Oh, what are you doing?
Caution, taxiway. Caution, taxiway.
Italia 2616, wind 300 degrees, 2 knots.
There it is.
Right clear to land.
My bad. V1.
Air 116,
Gear up.
Juliet Tower, wind 300 degrees, 4 knots, runway 25 cleared for takeoff.
Altimeter setting.
I'll get to the altimeter in a moment.
317 Charlie Bravo, tower number 2.
Altimeter setting.
J6221 Sierra, contact Roma departure 130.9.
Did it change? 1017, it's correct. Alright, autopilot engage. Speed check, flaps 1.
J6221 Sierra, Roma departure identified, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, K6221 Sierra.
190. I think I forgot to set up the altitude to capture.
Roma departure, Air 1161, passing 1,500 feet, climbing to flight level 110.
Air 1161, Roma departure identified, climb flight
Check
level
flaps subtract.
160.
Climb flight level 160,
Taxi
Air
lights off.
1161.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, flap is 0, NTIs and all NTI swing and left and right call all set auto and ICAS checked. Complete. So we are performing this turn now to southbound. Not sure why we're giving this, because we're going to need to go north. Still, it's accomplished what's charted, what's published. So right hand to left hand turn. So far no discontinuity, but we'll keep an eye out. I said discontinuity because I've noticed when I was performing pre-flight before the stream, and maybe they looks like doesn't look like there's any discontinuity on my flight plan. Altimeter is set standard. Set. I'm not sure why vRAAS told me about the altimeter setting. It was correct, 1017, and cross-check as well as my standby. Not sure. Let's go back here so we can... I don't know if we have charts here. Probably not. Flight following. No flight following chart, which is a shame. One thing missing.
1,500 feet climbing to flight level 100. EC-17 Charlie Bravo, Roller departure identified. Climb flight level 190. Climb flight level 190, EC-17 Charlie Bravo.
You can see the plane's having some trouble following the actual chart, but it is making its turn correctly.
Altimeter setting.
It is 1013. I need to turn this off on vRAAS
Altimeter setting.
before it becomes annoying, too annoying. Right. I turn
Runway awareness. Okay.
Meters.
Alright, so I just turned off on vRAAS because it appears it's having trouble reading the setting. Passing 10,000 feet, external lights off.
Good evening. Passing 1,500 feet climbing to flight level 120. Ryanair 9261 Roma departure identified. Climb flight level 190.
So after close, we'll turn left. So you see how redundant this charts page really is, because we can perfectly follow the flight plan via the charts here. So it's quite redundant. Traffic advisory set for TFC and above, which is why it's set on automated or automatic. But you can tune it manually by just selecting any of these modes. I'll just leave it at auto for now. So we're reaching 1,900 and then we'll be set to 380, which is our cruise altitude, be given by ATC. Another old school item is this blinking when reaching a waypoint. That's very old school. So as you approach no VNAV path by establish on nav and VNAV flight level change. Unless we need to turn it off. No. We set our FMS to
Roma radar K6221 Sierra. Good evening. Passing flight level 166, climbing to flight level 190 direct extra.
K6221 Sierra. Roma radar. Good evening. Identified. Climb flight level 380.
Climb flight level 380, K6221 Sierra.
Air Italia 2348. Contact Roma direct to 131 decimal 25.
Not sure about no path XTK, but we have the VNAV flight level change arm operational, and then we have the VNAV altitude set armed. Not sure why it says here no VPath. because everything looks A-okay. We do have flight level change here, but I'm not sure. Plane is following flight path and it is climbing. TFC is off now. We can turn off terrain as well.
Vision for Tango, contact Roma radar 128.75, good day. Center 128.75, vision for Tango. Roma radar, EZ17 Charlie Bravo, passing flight level 160, climbing to flight level 190, direct Julio. EZ17 Charlie Bravo, Roma radar identified, climb flight level 380.
So far so good. It appears that we are on path. We're following the FMS speed, at least that's what I selected here. Apparently it's stuck to 275. Yeah. Forgot to disconnect, so we can turn off the personal electronic devices as well as the seatbelt signs. That will clear our ACAS as well. And we are out of range of our departure here, so let's go back here to another page. Let's go to the map, full map. I think this map could fill in the entire screen like the Max does, but if it doesn't, we might as well just go to Synaptics and keep it there. We got, it's all in the green, but there's some hot brake temperature here. Or, oh, sorry, this is PSI, so the brake temperature is all in the green. Alright, this is the PSI. We'll go through the Synaptics pages here. So, this is the status, so the main status where we had APU, engine, oil temperature and pressure, outside temperature, TAT. We also have the air inflow, so this is basically the pneumatic system of the aircraft. And currently we are, of course, bleeding air out of the engines, trimming air into the cabin. We got our doors, hopefully everything's armed and closed. We got the electrical power. So we got 3 buses basically, and one is fed by battery 1, the other is fed by battery 2. Of course, the engines are now generating power. We got flight controls. We've seen that in the earlier when we were testing the flight controls. Fuel system, so both engines are picking up from each tank on each wing. We got the hydraulic systems, just like any other modern plane. We got 3 hydraulic systems. I believe 1 and 2 is operated automatically, but then we have 3A and 3B that we can control up here on the overhead panel. Switches, so 3A, 3B, oh, and also 2B, alright. So a lot of redundancies for the hydraulic systems. These are, of course, hydraulic pumps, and as you can see, they're automated. So if 3A fails, we got 3B. If 2A fails, we got 2B. 1A is single hydraulic line, but it's feeding the power transfer unit. So if any of these fail, they have the capacity to transfer power between themselves. So 3A is, of course, feeding the elevator, so it tells you what it's feeding. Rudder, aileron, flight spoiler, flaps, slats, and all that. Left and right elevator. But as you can see, 1A feeds the left elevator and 2A feeds the right elevator. This is all very redundant. So 3A feeds mostly all the main systems for flight operation. If they're working correctly, it's alright. But if one of them fails, or if you can see here the hydraulic 2 is a little low on percentage, because this could be workload. I'm not sure if this is level of the hydraulic fluid or if it's usage. So right now, if it is quantity, hydraulic fluid quantity, it's at 52%. So that could be a problem. They might need to refill the hydraulic fluid. But again, I'm not sure what. I need to read the manual to understand really what this means. What I do know is that the system is pressurized, and if any of these fail, these all have the capacity to intervene. So let's say 1A fails, 2A can enable the crossfeed all the way to the PTU, which in turn can feed the 1A system even if it fails. The same could happen with 2A. So if 2A fails, we got 2B. If 2B fails, we still can utilize the power transfer unit by the crossfeed open out of 1A, and it pressurizes to 2A. And of course 3A is independent, and it can operate all these systems on its own. So if these 2 fail, we still have hydraulic 3. Very much a redundancy. A lot of planes will offer this, and maybe more hydraulic systems. So these are the tests. We got the ice detection test. These are the tests we could have performed before flight checklist. It appears that some tests are either unavailable right now, or they're just operational before the engine start. So yeah, you can perform the avionics tests here. I'm not sure what vSpeed stands for, but bear with me. CDP, what is this? So it's all grayed out, so apparently it's a placeholder. This looks like manual navigation, so probably related to, yeah, it's probably related to the nav modes. So let's set this to nav 1, or VOR2. Apparently you can set everything here, but it's all grayed out, so there's no reason to mess with it if it's not working. Let's go back to FMS1. There it is. So yeah, we never left FMS mode, I hope. And so info, this is probably just info that we also get from the messages here. So again, I'm not sure what no VPath XTK means, but I will get on with it. I'll look at it. And this is pretty cool. So if you look around the cockpit, unlike many modern airliners, I don't want to press the speed. There aren't many circuit breakers, so you do have a few circuit breakers, manual circuit breakers right here. And we have a few others this side. For example, flight controls, and I believe they're all, if not all, most of them are operational. Looks like all of them are operational. But if you look around the cockpit, where are the other circuit breakers? So, our good fellows at Bombardier or Airbus later on decided that it would be better if we could have all these buses, all the circuit breakers, electronically. So they're all in the aircraft somewhere. I believe they're beneath in the avionics bay. And they're all electronic, so you don't have to manually push them. You can easily press this button, which I won't. And each one of these are, of course, operating some system on the aircraft. And the idea is that you can pull them from the aircraft electronically. You don't need to manually pull them, which is a way to do things. If I'm not mistaken, circuit breakers are physical on aircraft because pilots do need to see them popping out and being able to reinsert them. Just like when you're at your home and you go to your electrical panel at your home and you see the circuit breakers pop out, you know that you need to push them in. If you push them in and they break out again, there's a problem in your electrical system. I think the idea is the same on aircraft. So the ability to make them electronic, it's just to save space and make it a little more ergonomical, but at the same time it's one of those things. I mean, I will get used to it. I will get used to it, but I mean, come on, who uses circuit breakers on flight sim? No one. But imagine yourself being a real-life pilot, and you look around your cockpit, and you only see a bunch of circuit breakers, physical circuit breakers. It's a little scary, to say the least. So we're still climbing. So looking in here at our flight plan, we can of course select between active and secondary. We got the overlays here, which is pretty cool. We can set up VSD, which will give us a lateral profile. We also have the terrain and the traffic. Of course, traffic is more important than terrain at this altitude, so we leave terrain off. And again, weather is still not implemented yet, so don't get your hopes up. And given the shortness of this flight, we are going to have not many miles till our top of descent. So let's do the same here. You can of course select these with the buttons as well. The only thing that's not available is WX, but it's this button right here, which is currently inoperable. But you can press the button and you'll see the weather. As for the symbology, let's go and use this one here. You can set, of course, nearest airports. You can set nav aids, terminal waypoints, intersections. This is very, very cool because you can see the intersections to the runways, but it gets cluttered. Controlled airspace, SUA, we're not sure what that is. High nav aids, low nav aids, yeah, pretty cool. Another thing that's really cool is when you go here to the CNS page, if you press each frequency, you can set it up manually, of course, or you can have presets, which is pretty cool. You can preset your entire flight of the frequencies that you will most likely encounter, or, and this is pretty awesome, you can select the airport. In this case, this is the departure airport, and this is the arrival airport, and you can tune in automated systems that's preset already on the airport. So, for example, if I want to listen to Budapest ATs, I can just select it here, and it will tune my radio towards it. This is very, very interesting, very handy, but of course I'm using Beyond ATC, and I already have that here. I can tune in manually, or I can use these frequencies, preset frequencies, but and of course I have auto tune. But if I want to turn off auto tune and talk to the frequencies by myself, I can either do that manually, or I can just select it from the preset list. That's pretty cool. I really wish more planes had this. It looks really awesome. And again, this is not something that Synaptics decided to do. This is the actual aircraft does have this, which is pretty awesome. I don't know about you, but I like these kind of things that make pilot's life easier. Richard, nice. Yes, A220. Brilliant airplane. So I was saying that may have misspelled ITA Airways call sign and now I have CAFX. I mean, it's a cool call sign, CAFX. I need to use it more often. But I completely inserted the wrong call sign. It's not ITA. I've used ITA Airways in the past, so I'm not sure what I inserted. Alright, looks like we're at our cruising altitude, and as you can see, we are having a little trouble keeping our current airspeed. It's supposed, this is the VNAV, so I'm going to show you here. Let's talk about the BFD for a moment here. So I was talking about this pentagon here, or this home symbol, is where our FMC is aiming at for our speed. So our speed should be Mach 0.78, and that's exactly what's set up here at Mach 0.78. But apparently the plane is oscillating a little bit, trying to keep with that altitude setting. Airspeed setting. So it's coming up and down. I would say it needs some tweaking. It looks a little erratic. We are having some.
135.8, K6221 Sierra. Zagreb radar K6221 Sierra, flight level 380.
K6221 Sierra, Zagreb radar identified.
So we are in Zagreb. Like I was saying, the plane is oscillating a little bit, so I believe this needs a little tweaking. Now, coming back here to our BFD, this is our flight director, not the green birdie. That's our flight path vector. Not the chevron. I'll explain what the chevron is. It's that magenta circle. That's not a circle actually. It's actually a second birdie. That's our flight director. So if I want to fly within the path that I pre-selected, I need to stay, the green circle needs to be outside the magenta circle. Another item to follow is the little star. This does very much remind us of the Fokker and the, I believe the Falcon 50 that we've last flew. It also has this little star. And when we go to VNAV, we also have a lateral star, very similar to this. Over here we have, of course, the autopilot modes. We're now currently holding speed. FMS1 is controlling the lateral navigation. So this is the lateral navigation here, as well as the vertical navigation. We now have VNAV holding our altitude, our preset altitude of flight level 380. And this is the autopilot and auto throttle engaged, and it's selected to the left, just like we have here on our FCU. So it's selected to the left. That means that my controls on my screen are controlling the aircraft. So back then, when I was messing with the navigation selector, nothing changed because it's not the co-pilot controlling the plane, it's me. If I want to pass controls to him, I'll just press this button here and the arrow will move to the right, and that will indicate that my co-pilot has control. And well, not the co-pilot screen and flight data. So currently you can see here that the flight director is off. So if I press control to him, it will probably not follow anything because flight director is turned off. Alright, and what does the flight director follow it? Well, anything that it's in magenta here. So it's currently following FMS1 to Copri, and our direct track is 024, which is a little bit to the right from our true heading, which is 10019er. And our heading is now set to auto mode, so that means that it's following the current heading. If I wanted to move manually, I can move it, but currently it's set to auto. This is our chronometer, which we set when we were taxiing. Our flight ID is not does not say anything, although we did insert it, didn't we? Probably. No, we didn't. But we can insert it right now. So we are ITA 20221 Sierra. So it's ITA 221 Sierra. And we now insert here.
Contact Soviet radar 128.275.
Now nothing. All right. So maybe we need to insert this when we are on the ground. So probably that's why it's not showing up there. But anyway, you know what it is. All right. Let's now set up the arrival information. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up my Simbrief dispatch. Get to our flights. Sorry, view. And we are expecting runway 31 Romeo via Ulza to Hotel. So we are expecting probably an ILS. We'll go through ILS 31 Romeo. And we're expecting Ulza to Hotel. Now I just need to know the transition. So I'm coming here to the charts. What's going on with this? So the token keeps expiring. Alright, I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to use this one. I hope it's still working. So let's go to arrival. And let's pick this one. Alright, so what's going on? So I'm going to pick. Oh, I'm going to talk about the split mode. I'll tell you what it is in a moment. No, it's not available for our shards. Let's just simmer.
Contact Soviet radar 126.575 with FSLTL uniform.
So we are picking up the Ulza. So, oh my God. This is a chase plane messing with our navigation. So we're picking up Ulza. We're probably going with BP something 44. Atico. So let's pick ILS 31 Romeo. Atico, yeah, it's probably Atico. So let's pick Atico. And let's done. Need to execute. Done. So we got our arrival, no transition, only the transition afterwards. Alright, so we don't have average wind. We did request it. But we don't have winds for descent and climb. We cannot complete this, so I'm not sure if we can do anything here. I mean, we can insert data, but yeah. So ETP is apparently a placeholder. Alright, but we still, at least we got the star in. And we are reaching our top of descent, so here's hoping our ATC will give us exactly what we program right now. Well, good luck with that, Richard, because I may have made a little mess out of it. No big deal, though. It is a very pleasant plane to fly. Someone asked me, "Hello, Shivs, how are you?"
Good evening, flight level 330.
Someone asked me earlier what type of flights can you do with the A220? Well, regional flights. This is not a very long-range aircraft, so don't expect long ranges, you know. As for bugs, You've seen me finding one bug with Navigraph. It's not exactly from the plane, but it is a little bug. Oh, about the split mode. So, if you come here, and let's say you pick the ILS, notice that if you want to zoom in on this chart, you might lose the information on top. So if you press split, and again, this is not available for all airplanes, all charts, it will split the chart in two. So it's very handy. So look at this. You now have the what matters, so to speak, zoomed in, which is the ILS profile. But you also have the frequencies and the missed approach procedures and all that jazz split. And you can choose what to split. So you got briefing, or you can choose profile, or you can choose the minimums. And it's a good thing to look at the minimums right now because we need to set our decision height. So we are class AB, so we'll set 616. And it's a good question. Where is the MDA?
Radar 740 Victor, contact over radar 126.575, good day.
Set on 126.575.
We want to set these speeds plus 10.
Log of radar.
Set.
21 Alpha Alpha.
We're going to land with flaps 5. Let's get our temperature in.
Alpha, log of radar identified.
Log of radar with F221, good evening, flight level 377.
So currently it's variable 2, so we're going to set this to 000-2. We are outside temperature at Budapest is 20 degrees, 20. Alright, and QNH local is 1022. And yeah, looks good. Looks very good. As for the arrival data, we got everything here. We even have the frequency for the ILS and the final approach course. Pretty cool. We can, of course, choose the arrivals here as well if you need to. As for the descent, we're going to set our decision altitude, probably. There it is. So the transition here is 10,000, sorry. So we need to set that over there. You would think that the database will have this, but still, it's 10,000. Execute. Done. So now, we're going back here to the descent checklist, and we're going to leave it open for now. One thing I've noticed that not all the time, most of the times the FMS will default to the database page for some reason. It just defaults there, not sure why. No, I don't press anything to do so. So we're coming up on the top of descent. We're still 100 miles from it, but we're hoping that ATC will give us our approach clearance. We're still in Zagreb, so we're still in Croatia, still not in Hungarian airspace, but still. So significant weather, we got variable 2 knots, we saw that. Weather is a KVOG, so no significant limitation in distance. Temperature is 20, QNH 1022, arrival runway 31 right, exactly what we picked, and departure 31 left, transition, flight level 100, acknowledge receiver information, Charlie, this is the one we got. Alright, we don't need to tune in ATs, but remember, you can do that pretty easily, so let's go through it again. We go here to CNS, press VHF 1, select destination, and we can tune in just by pressing this. We can tune in 132.38, of course by hand, but why do that? We have it all here already. We can also set our presets by just selecting the frequency, and we can preset every single, there's going to be limited slots. It's 14, 19 slots. Do you think it's enough? 19 radio presets? This is inherited by the military, by the way. The military use everything. Everything from radios is preset. So we are getting close. We passed our ETP, so our equal time point, and we're getting close to our destination here. So getting back to Synaptics here. So we are already, let's go through our checklist here. We already set our FMS. We have set our, not the minimum, so yeah, we forgot that. Where is the minimums? So it's probably somewhere I'm not looking. Alright, let's go here to, so this is a flight log, pretty cool. We'll get to that. So this is also a way to visualize our flight plan, so we can see we got it.
Radar 126.575 K6221 Sierra.
So you see the discontinuities I was talking about.
221 Sierra, flight level 380.
K6221 Sierra, the web radar identified.
So I would think that we would set our minima here, but is that it? QNH altitude 243.
The web radar with a 22 Tango Mike passing flight level 307, climbing to flight level 380. With a 22 Tango Mike, the web radar identified.
Our minimum should see 616. Is that it? Could be that simple. Is it? I don't see anything written here as minimums. There should be like a display here, so a source here for. So this is QNH. There should be something like. Did I set this to inches? I meant to use HPA. It should be a little knob here to select minimums, but I don't see it anywhere. All good, Chifs. Sorry I'm not replying that much. I'm really concentrating on messing this flight up. And I'm not doing a good job at it. So. It's not here. So. It's not here. Not here. Flight plan. Is there something on the flight plan? No, this is alternate, average ISA, deviation, route selection. Arrivals, arrival data. Nope. Where is minimums?
With a 22 Tango Mike, cleared Meba 5 Delta, arrival runway 26. Cleared Meba 5 Delta, arrival runway 26 with a 22 Tango Mike.
So I forgot to fill in the reserve contingency. I don't think it was active though. It's all grayed out here, but need to set up the contingency. Just look at your flight plan briefing and you should have it there. So this is my descent and it should be here on your arrival. Makes sense, right? Temperature computing, arrival data. This is runway winds. QNH, and I think that's it. I don't know. I don't know. This is something I need to investigate though. Alright, let's set minimum set. Auto brake, we're going to set auto brake to low. ACAS has been checked and arrival briefing. I don't think Betsy's on the talking mood today. So I'm trying to press there, but the throttle is in the way. How do I move there? is complete. So, yeah, when ITA is...
K6221 Sierra, cleared all effect 2 hotel arrival, runway 31 right.
It's not necessary, it's not needed to perform this. So before landing checklist, this is what matters, and we'll keep it open for now. What just happened?
K6221 Sierra,
Brakes.
cleared all effect 2 hotel arrival, runway 31 right.
Brake. Parking brake. Huh. Parking brake, not medium, let's set to low. I may have pressed parking brake by accident.
K6221 Sierra, survey radar.
Oh, yeah, confirm. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, accept, whatever.
Cleared RSF 2 hotel arrival, runway 31 right, K6221 Sierra.
Yep, that's the one we got. There's a discontinuity, see? This is something you need to clear. So, how to clear it? I think we go here to via, and we say, and we select Olzak.
Wizard 22 Tango Mike, report ready for descent. Ready for descent, Wizard 22 Tango Mike.
Yep, that's it.
Wizard
Then we
22 Tango
say,
Mike, descent to flight level 210.
I don't know what
Descent
you
to
go.
flight level 210, Wizard 22 Tango Mike.
It's the same business. Let's select one. Still have Tico. So it's telling me that I cannot select it for some reason. So I cleared one discontinuity but not the other one. So what does this mean is I'm going to have an issue here. There will be a discontinuity right about there. So there's the vectoring and then
K6221
Tico.
Sierra, report ready for descent.
We're ready.
Ready for descent, K6221 Sierra.
K6221 Sierra, descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1022.
Descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1022, K6221 Sierra.
There we go. Plane will descend. It will try to intercept the VNAV path. It is a bit complicated. Yeah, shifts. Yeah, it does look cool, but it is a bit complex. You kind of need to learn stuff. But it is good looking, though. By the way, I've not set my cameras, so I'm unable to show you like tail camera and all that. That's something I need to.
K6221 Sierra, reduce speed 240 knots.
Reduce speed 240 knots, K6221 Sierra.
So let's set this to manual then. 240 knots. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very cool choice. That's the only downside of picking these.
K6221 Sierra, contact Budapest, control 127.1.
Center on 127.1, K6221 Sierra, good day.
The only downside of picking this type of aircraft that the A220 is not that popular in Europe, not yet. And so the biggest choice now is airlines. Which airlines should you pick to fly this plane? There's not many choices. There aren't many choices. So you have ITA Airways, you have Air Baltic, you have Air France, Swiss Airlines, and that Malev, I think, have 220s. I'm not sure. But there you go. You don't have many choices. Reserve normal speed. All right. There aren't many choices for airlines when it comes to flying this plane, so it's always going to be a little complicated to pick flights and pick airlines to fly them. So let's go back to the PFD because now some interesting things are happening. So as you can see here, the chevron is now going up. That means that we are actually accelerating. Once we reach this optimal speed, the chevron will align with our little birdie. So now we're reducing speed, and as you can see, as we reduce throttle, the airspeed will also reduce.
Contact Budapest Control 133.205, K6221.
So we're already going for Budapest Control.
Budapest Control, K6221 Sierra. Good evening, passing flight level 327, descending to 4,000 feet.
K6221 Sierra, Budapest Control identified.
Budapest Control with a 22 Tango Mike, passing flight level 280, descending to 5,000 feet.
So let's look here at our briefing for the if we missed approach. So we are sticking with one of these two. So one is the RNAV missed approach. We should climb to BP 163, which is right here, BP 163, and we should climb and then direct to TPS VOR right here, while we climb to 3,000 feet. And then at 3,000 feet, we will need to hold at TPS VOR. As for the conventional missed approach, we should climb to 3,000 feet, maintain runway heading initial radial 127 BUD. So which one? Oh, there it is. So the Budapest VOR, we should maintain a radial of 127 and climb to 3,000 feet. That's very odd. Well, it's basically the same thing, but we need to establish a VOR out of this vector out of this VOR, a radial out of this VOR. And then when passing the station, 307 BUD outbound, so we need to establish a 127 and then a 307 outbound. So pretty much heading north when passing 1.5 DME. Then turn right, heading maximum of 185 knots to TPS VOR. So it's basically the same thing, but it's a little more convoluted. And then hold at 3,000. This is of course a 3-degree down ILS approach. We'll be coming out of 3,000 feet, so that should be our last assigned altitude. So the plane doesn't assume the TOD. So we're gonna... Oh, what am I doing? Cancel, cancel, cancel. I just wanted to leave the waypoint here. I think I can. I cannot delete this point here specifically. So the plane is having trouble understanding that it's no longer flying to the TOD, top of descent. Could be a bug, could be me doing stuff wrong. I don't know. Let's try to put a TICO up there again. It doesn't allow me. By that point, we will already be lining up to the runway with the approach mode, but still, it's a little pain in the rear end to have that discontinuity. And like I said, when we started, it does add a lot of discontinuities to the flight. Yeah, I love the breeze texture. JetBlue is also cool. Yeah, this livery is awesome. Let's look at it once more. This is a very cool looking livery. I mean, it's nighttime, you can barely see it, but it's pretty cool. And look at that, that's just little symbols. It kind of reminds me of haute couture, right? Like Louis Vuitton or something like that. I mean, I know it's not Louis Vuitton, but it kind of resembles those little symbols on the first verses. I mean, I always liked Italian airline liveries, so I loved Alitalia, of course. Pretty cool, but it's something else. It's really cool. Blue is really striking, really cool. It stands out on any airport. It's a shame they don't bring the A220 to Lisbon, to be honest, because I wanted to see this plane more often. So, like I was saying, this could be a little bug here with the top of descent not being cleared. Maybe we can just activate the descent mode, probably. No, nothing to activate here. So it does not want to clear. So there's a discontinuity. Let me try to copy this maybe here. Up. Will it work? So yes, we're going to keep the discontinuity. Oh yeah, there it is, the constraints. Alright, so now we cleared the discontinuity, finally. So we can't clear it via the flight plan. Now there's another one. So let's pick a TICO, copy it above, select. Doesn't allow me. Let's cancel. I need to look at the manual. Why can't we can we write a TICO? So maybe write a TICO.
Uniform Kilo Uniform, resume normal speed. Resume normal speed with Air 14 Uniform.
This one? No, it just doesn't want me to clear that discontinuity. Oh, because it's factored in.
GSX 221 descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH 1022.
Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH 1022, K6 221 Sierra.
We'll get to that. 1022 is a local pressure. Yeah. I believe this is my first time flying to Budapest. I'm pretty sure it is. So, here's hoping everything goes fine. I'm sure it will. Plane flies well. It has a little bugs here and there, like this discontinuity little thing we cannot clear. But other than that, it really flies them very well. And I really love this chart selection it makes based on our flight plan. Really, really cool, very handy, especially when you have this token thing with the charts from Navigraph. I don't understand what's going on here. So if we select the token here, it will not work there, and vice versa. I've noticed that's what happened. So that's definitely a bug. So we have been flying for 1 hour and 10 minutes, as you can see here from our chrono. And it's been a very pleasant flight so far. Not a long flight. We took off from Rome, as you remember, to Budapest in Hungary. Like I was saying, I believe this is my first time flying to Budapest, at least since I have the channel. I did fly all over Europe back in the day when I was a crazy little guy flying for virtual airlines. Can you believe that? Yeah, I used to do that. There's a lot of people that still do it. Passing Ozap, turning left to Josep. Just set up my chase plane cameras. Plane just released today, so yeah, a lot of missing cameras here. The FB is all messed up. Yeah, this is definitely needing some R&R.
GSX 221 Sierra, contact Budapest control 120.38.
Center on 120.38, GSX 221 Sierra.
Courtesy of StrataWX, we have a very close blanket of clouds up ahead.
Descending to 4,000 feet.
GSX 221 Sierra, Budapest control identified.
So we don't have weather depiction, but we can select terrain. Yep, getting close. The runway is right up ahead, but we're not going to make a direct approach. We need to make this U-turn here. Got the localizer tuned, so we already have range for the localizer. At least the ILS is automated. I think it is. I hope it is. Alright, we're reaching the transition altitude, so we're going to set this to 1022. Set a cross check. Let's set our standby also at 1022.
GSX 221 Sierra, contact Budapest approach 122.975.
Set.
Contact Budapest approach 122.975, GSX 221 Sierra.
External lights.
Budapest approach, GSX 221 Sierra, passing 9,900 feet, descending to 4,000 feet.
So this is not the final turn, we'll still make a couple of more turns. I don't see the constraints set here, but we do have them here. So for the TCO, we need to be above 4,000, that's exactly what we are pushing. And you can see the top of the sand is still going up there. This is not correct. You can see the plane is still wanting to descend. But yeah, the TOD should be gone by now.
Contact Budapest Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, Wizard 3636, bye-bye.
So let's just confirm this data here. So we need to turn to 109.5 for localizer at 301 degrees. 109.5, 307. So what is this? This is not correct. It's not 301, it's 307. 109.5. We need to confirm this when we are at the airport. Looks like there's a discrepancy here. Yet another bug, I think. But it's a bridge we'll cross once we reach it. Still a little off. The TOD is definitely a bug there. So this is the approach briefing. Sorry, the approach plan. We still need, so now I see the issue here. No, cancel. It's a good thing we can do this and cancel it. So there appears to be some issue here with this discontinuity, and now we have an issue with the localizer there as well.
Contact Budapest Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, Ryanair 2 Charlie Romeo.
1,000 to go to 4,000 feet.
Budapest approach with Air 4 Kilo uniform, passing flight level 118, descending to 4,000 feet with information Delta. With Air 4 Kilo uniform, Budapest approach, good evening. QNH 1022, expect the ILS approach runway 31 right with the Attica transition. QNH 1022, expect the ILS approach runway 31 right with the Attica transition with Air 4 Kilo uniform.
So the wind changed. So here 330 and 3. And the temperature is 19er. QNH 1022. We're gonna land with flaps 4. Landing weight, it's not sinking. Sinking landing weight. Oh my god, so what's the landing weight here? We need to also update this. So runway wind, let's do that, it's more important than calculating. So
GFX 221 Sierra, clear, direct Attica, cross Attica at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS approach runway 31 right.
Cleared direct Attica, cross Attica at or above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS approach runway 31 right, GFX 221 Sierra.
So we are clear for the ILS approach. 33. Why is it not riding? Because this is active. So 330 dash 3. Temperature is 19er. Oh, this is the port. What am I doing? This is departure. To arrival. 330 at 3. Temperature is 19er. QNH is still 1022. vRAAS is 123 plus 10. We got it covered. we are. At Tico, we'll turn left and then engage approach. And we still have our TOD there. Look at that. And there's a discontinuity right there. We're not going to get too worried.
Weather 4 Kilo Uniform, cleared direct Attica, cross Attica at or about 4,000 feet, cleared ILS, approach runway 31 right.
Cleared direct Attica, cross Attica at or about 4,000 feet, cleared ILS, approach runway 31 right, with Air 4 Kilo Uniform.
This is correct. This is not correct. So I'm not sure what's going to happen now, but this is not correct at all. There we go, turning left now. So we are going to turn manually to the left here. Because I just can't clear that discontinuity. Heading and arm approach. Heading first, then approach afterwards. Speed check flaps 1. Localizer 1 set. And again, the DTK is incorrect, but approach. Let's go back to our flight plan and select direct BP. Execute. Discontinuity is not cleared.
Budapest approach, TLM 85 Papa, good evening, passing flight level 111, descending to 4,000 feet with information Delta.
Approach log captured.
TLM 85 Papa, Budapest approach, QNH 1022, expect the ILS approach runway 31 right with Navigraph transition. QNH 1022, expect the ILS approach runway 31 right with Navigraph transition, TLM 85 Papa.
Flight slope captured. We'll be reporting established as soon as we are. Speed brakes, or are these just you can only deploy or retract? No arming, no biggie. Alright, report established.
K6221 Sierra established 31 right.
K6221 Sierra, roger.
Give us a clearance, baby.
2500.
look at that. We are so off because our course is incorrect.
J6221 Sierra, contact Budapest Tower 118.1, bye-bye.
Contact Tower 118.1, K6221 Sierra.
Gear down.
Budapest Tower, K6221 Sierra, ILS approach runway
Autopilot
31
off.
right.
K6221 Sierra, Budapest Tower, wind 320 degrees, 3 knots, runway 31 right, clear to land.
Runway 31 right, clear to land, K6221 Sierra.
And flaps 5. So the problem here is that the DTK is 301 when it should be 307. So 6 degrees off. I'm just lining myself up with the correct ILS data here. Just following the flight director as best as I can, although it's offset. We are at vRAAS plus 10 as fragged, I mean. I'm just following the diamonds on my PFD. I'm not following the flight director on its own. Because as you can see, it's telling me to go below the glide path. I don't want to do that. On the glide path.
Approaching 3, 1, right.
Confirmed. Forgot to make the landing checklist, but we're good. That's why we need 2 pilots, guys.
Budapest Tower, reserve for Kilo Uniform, ILS approach runway 31 right.
Reserve for Kilo Uniform, Budapest Tower, continue.
Wilco, reserve for Kilo Uniform.
Retard.
300.
Well, we should have decision height already.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse. Well, reverse idle. It's my bad, I was looking down. Auto brake off.
K6221 Sierra, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway, K6221 Sierra.
Start AP here.
Reserve for Kilo Uniform, wind 330 degrees, 3 knots, runway 31 right, clear to land.
Runway 31 right, clear to land, reserve for Kilo Uniform.
Welcome to
KFX221 Sierra, contact ground 121.901.
Ground 121.901, K6221 Sierra.
Budapest. Let's call it in.
K6221 Sierra, request taxi to company gate.
K6221 Sierra, taxi to stand 39 left via Yankee Alpha 7, Lima Papa 3 Romeo Hotel.
Taxi to stand 39 left via Yankee Alpha 7 Lima Papa 3 Romeo Hotel, K6221 Sierra.
Taxi via Yankee, that's where we are, I believe. Then Alpha 7, then Lima. Where's Lima? Question. Then Papa Tree, then Romeo Hotel. So see, this is when this amazing feature doesn't help, because now we don't really know where to go. But at least we know that we should go through Yankee, then Alpha 7. Definitely not go forward, because that will lead us to the runway. So we need to probably turn here. And I'll just follow Beyond ATC's amazing little map. Lima. Alright, let's carry on. Keep you available. To be honest, I don't know how this plane behaves with single engine taxis, so I'll avoid it for this stream. I promise on the next flight that I'll do it correctly. Do we have BTV? You're asking too much to have BTV. So, taxi to stand 390 Lima. Get out of the taxi here. Where the heck is 390? Oh, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna request to follow me. I'm almost exiting the taxiway now. This is the one. Request follow me. So I'll just wait here for the follow me. Some airports are just overcomplicated because they have like weird taxiways and all that. And unfortunately my this charting system is token is invalid or expired, so I'm just going to use the follow me here. just going to use the VTGS if it's working. We have a Marshall in there. Alright, it's good enough. At least it has a jetway. The A6 e-tron. Audi. Full car. Yeah, it's beautiful. Stops and stop light. Right, looks good. Very good parking. Nice. Parking brake set. And we can shut down the engines, start with 2. And 1. Shutdown checklist. Nozzle steering off. APU is on. Slides will be disarmed. Beacon is off. And seatbelt signs to off. Flight control required, complete. We're not going to do the other checklist. Alright guys, the boarding please.
The boarding requested.
Here comes the jet bridge. Welcome to Budapest, welcome to Hungary. It's I believe my first time flying in this channel to Budapest. It is the first time flying to Budapest on this channel. Right, so appreciation, evaluation for this Synaptic A220. It's a mixed feeling. This plane has been in the works for so long that it's a bit hard to say anything but being thrilled about the plane's final arrival. In terms of systems, it's very much in depth. It's very cool. There's a lot of features here that I will investigate, such as the decision height, which was not on that page I was in. I believe that's the airport altitude, I think. I have no way to know where the MDA is set or the DH. It should be a simple knob somewhere around here, but it isn't. And I think that I need to investigate where that could be. We also had that little bug with the route, so the top of descent was always going forward. It was we never reached it. It does happen that we need to descend before our planned descent, so I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong here. I certainly think I didn't, but it is what it is. Also, the flight plan doesn't appear to be completely closed once we land, which is something. Look at that. We still have the runway 31 Romeo approach armed, which isn't supposed to be, but it is what it is. So a lot of stuff I need to review. A lot of stuff is just me not knowing the plane, and I completely understand that. I did an extensive flight before I could start this one. Well, pre-flight. I also read the manual as best as I could, but yeah, apparently some things are missing, and I need to understand what to do. Again, I don't know where the MDA is, minimum decision altitude. I really don't know where there is. I need to search that. I need to read the manual another time for these small little things. But I also am completely or almost sure, I would say completely, I'm almost sure there's also a few bugs here and there that need to be ironed out. We didn't perform a visit to the cabin, by the way. Let me do that just now with the passengers exiting. It's going to be a little rough, but we can do it. So little galley, very important coffee machine, you know, the jazz. None of this is interactive, of course. There's a nice little surveillance camera there. There's the loo. Let's close the cockpit door here. Little loo. You can raise a toilet seat if you want. No flushing, no. None of this works. Oh well. Nice little ovens. This looks like a very low res texture here. Maybe it's just me, but it looks like this could use a little love. None of these controls here work. None of this works. The lights do turn on here, but they're not. You cannot mess with them. Single aisle aircraft. 3-2 configuration or 2-3 depending what you look at. All these are interactive as well as the blinds and the trays. Of course this is an A220, there's no in-flight entertainment so to speak. I believe they do have in-flight entertainment via mobile device but not in the screen, not with the screen. So, yeah, the cabin can be configured in different lighting. That's done via the electronic flight bag. I'm still using the APU. I should have turned on the ground power unit, but it's okay. So, again, my appreciation, final appreciation for this aircraft. Should you buy it? It's a little pricey in my national currency in euros. It's 71 plus, so 71.50 or something like that. That's a lot of money for a small plane, for a small regional airplane. Do you like regional airplanes? I think you have great selection already. We just flew the other day. Oh, look at that, there's a window in the loop. That's nice. First time I've seen one. This one has a, yeah, this one also has a window, nice. Like I said, we flew the Fokker 70-100 for a regional aircraft. I think it's more fleshed out, but this is just me, my opinion. The plane does look good. I mean, it's an Inibuilds plane. An Inibuilds plane will never look bad. It might have some little works here and there. That's not. So you do remember that the Inibuilds A350 winglets were not correctly shaped, but they did correct it. But other than that, the plane looks really good. It's another great Inibuilds work in that regard. But you should be buying planes for the looks, right? You should be buying planes because you want to fly them. You feel like the need to have it. I certainly have a need to have it because I like short-range flight, medium to short-range flight for my stream, so this plane fits in perfectly. But the shortcomings, it's a little convoluted. It requires a lot of patience to work with it and a lot of studying to work with it. That's something I'm not bothered with. I like studying, I like learning. What I'm bothered with is the little bugs, missing features. It doesn't have a weather radar. The little bugs, they're just annoying, like that top of descent bug, like the discontinuity bugs on the flight plan. This needs tweaking. I think they should be tweaking that before realizing they were about to release the plane. But yeah, I don't work for Inibuilds or Synaptic, so it's up to them to decide when to launch their planes. Inibuilds is known for launching planes with bugged features and missing features, so it's nothing new for us. They claim they are going to launch their A380 with feature complete. I don't believe that. I'll see it when it comes out. But anyway, should you buy it? So, do you want to spend a lot of money in a regional jet? 71 plus euros. Do you want to spend that much money? If you do, this plane's for you. I would wait if you don't want to spend that much money. I would wait for two reasons. First, the missing features and the bugs will be ironed out by then. Two, it's a little bit pricey. You should probably wait for a sale or something if you don't want to spend that much money. And I don't blame you. I'm just a little that should be a reason to buy a plane, to be honest. That's something you should aim at for planes like LAT VFR or virtual call. Those planes can go from 15 euros to 30 euros if it's just looks you're looking for. If you want to fly an in-depth system, it's not there yet. I'll be honest, it's not there yet. I mean, the systems are very in-depth. There's a lot of things in there. There's a lot of learning to do, but I would wait. I would wait a few days to make them release their first patch, correct some of the issues we saw, and some other stuff that I didn't see, but it's probably there. You probably would wait a few days. If you don't want to wait for the sale, I'll completely understand, but don't buy on impulse. Did I buy on impulse? I did. Do I regret it? Yeah, I think I regret it. So, being honest here. So, guys, that's it. I think you should wait. Don't buy the plane just yet. If you're buying it by the looks, there are cheaper alternatives out there. If you're buying it for the features and for the in-depth study levels kind of operation flying, I'm pretty sure this plane will get there, but I would give it some more time. Hold on, change cameras around. I would wait a little bit. But if you're an Inibuilds fan and you like new exotic things, yeah, go for it. I mean, it's expensive, but it flies. It flies well. But yeah, unlike the Fokker 70 and 100, it's not yet full feature complete. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, well, Richard, I try. I'm being honest here. If I was this little nutcase for a good-looking aircraft, I would say yes. And I do love how this plane looks. But that's not everything, right? You want a plane that works well, that has this learning curve. It's acceptable. I mean, the learning curve is acceptable if you're willing to invest your time. But if you're an Airbus pilot, this is a very different plane. I got lucky, I guess, because before I flew this plane, I flew different jets like the Fokkers and the Fokker 70, Fokker 100, and the Falcon 50, and many other business jets, and that kind of prepped me for this, to be honest, because the systems kind of resemble each other, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I would wait. I would definitely wait. Do not buy planes on impulse. Do not buy planes on day one. Force the developers to develop their planes correctly before they get released with missing features and bugs. But yeah, you've been warned. So guys, if you guys like what you saw and you really appreciate the channel, please leave a like, subscribe. There's also a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. And by the way, Richard, thank you very much for your support last time. You donated via Buy Me a Coffee. Really appreciate it. You're a great friend of the channel. And yeah, every money that gets invested by you guys, it's reinvested in new add-ons that I purchase here and there. This is one of them. Unfortunately, the donations didn't cover the entire cost, so it came out of my pocket. But yeah, anything for you guys, I suppose. Oh my. Yeah, well, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did enjoy the flight, at least. It went well. No big deal. No weather, fortunately, because I didn't have any radar to check it anyway. And see you next time, guys. Remember, there are clouds in the sky, but the sun always shines. See you later, guys. Bye. See you, Richard. See you, Mirsha. See you, Andrew, Shivs. Who else? You are WRK, WRQ. See you guys next time, guys. Bye.